This is Smithy.tv.
Hi, I'm Katie Ullman reporting for Katie Chats here at Smithy TV in downtown Toronto with actor-writer Richard Young. What was it like transitioning from social psychology into business and then into acting?
It was an interesting transition. I think I always wanted to be an actor when I was growing up, and I was just really scared about doing it. So I did some acting in high school, and then even when I was doing my undergrad in psychology, I did some acting there. But then again, I was saying, oh, I'm too scared, so I decided to go into business right after. And it was great doing it. I found there was a lot of similarities between social psych and then also doing marketing. But then I was working in marketing as a brand manager for L'Oreal, the cosmetics company. And as I was doing it, even though it was an interesting job, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And so I started doing some acting classes in the evenings. And then I realized that I was caring more about the once-a-week acting classes than it was about my full-time job. And so it came to a point, I was working there for about 3 years, and finally I said that I wasn't going to be happy, no matter how much money you're making and how far you're advancing. And so I kind of bit the bullet. It's an interesting story. I was actually looking for another job at that time, and I had a headhunter, and I was living in Montreal. And what happened is the headhunter had a job for me in Toronto, and they wanted to offer it to me. It was more pay. And I was from Toronto, so I figured I'd be back with my family, and I figured I'd be all happy. And then what happened is I started feeling sick, like I couldn't sleep, and I was like, why do I feel so nauseous? And then I started to realize that the reason why I'm feeling nauseous is that I don't want to do this anymore. And so I actually decided what had happened is I went online and I saw applications for college programs for acting, and the due date for that was actually that week. And so I applied, and then from there, that started the whole transition. So what's interesting is that if I hadn't had that job offer, and then I hadn't had that opportunity, if that happened a week later, I would have missed the college deadline, and I probably would have said, no, it's okay, I'll just go back to my job, and that sort of thing. So it was amazing how random everything came together, and then went into the acting program, and I was super scared when I made the transition and quitting and talking about that. But then after like a week of doing the acting program, I could feel like, no, this is exactly what I need to be doing.
Great.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of live performing theater when you were starting out, and then you did the Second City educational tour. What was that whole experience like? Yeah. And then what was it like then transitioning into more screen acting? Okay,
so I started off in a Humber acting for film and television program, and immediately when I finished that, I started taking classes at Second City, just because I really enjoyed improv. The story about that is that in my acting and film and TV program, we had an improv class with Alan Gutman, and what had happened is I felt that I was struggling in that class because I was always in my head, because I came from an academic background and working all the time, as opposed to improv being all free. And I was actually kind of afraid of failing my improv course, so I decided to take some classes in Toronto, some additional classes at Bad Dog, and I loved it, and I thought it was great, and I figured, okay, let's try doing some classes at Second City, and I happened to get into their Second City Conservatory program, and from there I did the program, and I happened to impress some people, or some people maybe fool some people, I guess, depending on who you talk about. And they cast me in their Second City Educational Company, which is a part of the Second City's training center. They do shows for high school students at the main stage, and we also do some touring shows. So sketch comedy, we write a bit of sketch comedy, and then doing some improv as well, and we teach improv after. So I did that for 2 years. As well, I also did some family shows at the Second City main stage. So that's basically shows for younger kids on the weekends and stuff, and I did that for about 8 months and stuff. So yeah, so it was really interesting doing that live stuff and coming in from a film and TV dramatic program to then going to live comedy, and now coming back into more film and TV stuff as well.
Yeah. And you have your web series, Off to Cali, going strong, and you have some really great talent attached to it, including Colin Mockery and Paula Brancati's in one. Tell me a little bit about about that and what inspired it?
So what inspired it? What had happened is that when I'd finished my 2 years with Second City, at first I was like, oh wow, what am I going to do? And especially when at Second City they teach you to write a lot and have a lot of ideas. So I had a bunch of scripts and I wasn't sure what to do. And then what happened is that it was interesting that a week after I finished with Second City, I went to a YouTube seminar. It was in Toronto, and basically it was YouTube talking about what to do with YouTube. And at that point, I basically thought of YouTube as a place you watch funny cat videos and maybe some clips you'd watch from, Stephen Colbert. They put it online and that sort of thing. And then it really, I guess, blew up in my mind with all the interesting, creative, original content and how people were, I guess, YouTube stars, but I didn't really care so much about that. It was the level of content that was out there and talking about how YouTube was really focusing on the fact that they wanted to develop audiences and having people coming back and having people treat this as like a professional medium, as a lot of people did. And I know a lot of the younger kids probably already know that. For me, I had no clue. And so when I saw this, I thought to myself, wow, this is something I want to like get involved in, to basically have an ability to create my own stuff and work with the people I want to work with. And then from there, it was mainly me not knowing how to do anything, how to like film, how to put things together. I had some concepts, but then one of the things I guess they teach from marketing or business is that if you want to be successful, the key point in realizing that you're successful is you realizing that you can't do it all. Who are the people that are amazing, and how do you get them to work with you? So with a lot of my stuff, I shot a couple of sketches and scenes and vlogs, and so I know what I could do is I had something I want to write. I know I could coordinate some things, but there's other people who are really good at shooting, really good at acting with me, directing, editing, and how do I kind of connect with all those? So with each video, it's always a different group of people. And now we've been here since September, and I was actually like counting it up, and we've worked with about 60 different people, so about 30 actors and 30 crew members, all on different videos and stuff. And so when I say it's maybe the channel that I founded, it's not the channel that I did myself. It's basically working with all these people all the time. Yeah.
And what is at the heart of the Off to Cali videos?
The Off to Cali, for me, Cali, it's Off to Cali's with a K. And Cali, people think it means I want to go to California, and I do enjoy California. But Cali actually means the Hindu goddess of destruction, time, and change. So it's a little bit edgy with all the humor that I try to talk about. So I talk about how in my humor I want to say something, or I want to destroy preconceptions. In terms of me personally, there's what do I talk about? Well, what am I? I'm brown. I'm South Asian. I'm a single guy. I'm Canadian. I'm a geek. And also I get angry at some things. So you'll find that each one of those sketches either taps into one or a combination of those things. So I think, yeah, they're basically talking about the things I do, and edgy and satire, or at least I try to be edgy and satirical, because I love things like The Onion or Colbert Show or The Daily Show. So that sort of humor I try to put in there. Yeah.
And what are your goals for the future?
Well, I've been doing a lot of acting. I think the main thing I love to do is I love to swing back and forth between acting and writing. So acting in amazing stuff, and then when I'm not acting in amazing stuff, then hopefully writing amazing stuff and casting people to work with as well. So fortunately, I've been lucky is that when I went after the Humber acting program, I got some gigs on Saving Hope, and then on Degrassi, and then on Mayday. So I have done some things as well, some commercials as well. So I've been building that. And I feel with this particular channel, this Off to Cali channel, it's a way for me to work with all the stars I've wanted to work with and then showcase, here's things that I've written and here's me in different scenarios. One of the scenes is called 6 Awkward Moments. So it's 6 really quick scenes, and some of them I'm doing a romantic scene, some of them I'm at a funeral, some of them I'm doing like Russian roulette, is like 2 like almost terrorist sorts of folks. So it's a real cool way to, when I watch it, to be like, wow, okay, I look like really cool there, or I look really romantic there, or I look like a real loser in this one. So I have a huge, I guess, a plethora of scenes I can show there.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and your work online?
Well, if you want to see Off to Cali, it's youtube.com/off2cali. Off to Cali spelled OFF, the number 2, and then Cali with a K. You can also go to the Facebook group there, facebook.com/off2cali. And then if you want to see my website about my Off to Cali and non-Off to Cali stuff, it's richardyoungofficial.com. Young, opposite of old, as opposed to Young Street.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and best of luck with the series and all of your upcoming work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm Katie Ullman reporting for Katie Chats here at Smithy TV in downtown Toronto.